This is lesson 4.7. We are going to be graphing inequalities. So, as a reminder, we have the greater than sign, we have the greater than or equal to sign, we have the less than sign, or we have the less than or equal to sign. When we have the equals to sign, so either the greater than or equal to sign or the less than or equal to sign, that means that the number will be included. So if I said that x is greater than 3, well, the number could be 4, 5, 6, 3.5, 100, any number greater than 3. But 3 would not be included. If I have x is greater than or equal to 3, that means that 3 can be included. So we have to remember that or equals to can include the number. So now we're going to be graphing some inequalities. The example 1 shows us that we're going to graph all the solutions for x is greater than 5. So first, they have the steps broken down for us right here. This is exactly how we're going to be graphing these. Step 1 says to graph x is greater than 5, draw an open circle at 5 on a number line. Okay, so you have number lines with you, or you should have number lines with you. Find 5 on your number line. We are going to be graphing x is greater than 5. Okay, so let's start by doing an open circle. Find some solutions and plot them on the number line. Okay, so what are numbers greater than 5 if x is greater than 5? Well, 6 is greater than 5, 7, 8, 9, 6.5, 5.5. Everything to the right of the 5 is greater than 5. So to represent this, we are going to draw an arrow, a nice thick arrow that shows that x is greater than 5. That means we will be traveling to the right of 5. Now, it's also important for us to notice that the circle on the 5 is open. We can have a closed circle if we had x is greater than or equal to 5. So to graph x is greater than or equal to 5, I would have 5. Okay, I'm just going to make my number line. Well, x is greater than or equal to 5. Let's start by finding 5. And now let's think about what this means. X is greater than or equal to 5. We're going to be including 5 here. So you're going to color in that circle where 5 is, and then you're going to draw a nice dark arrow to the right, because that means that all values to the right of 5 and including 5 can be a value for x. So when we think back to our greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, when it's just greater than or less than, it's going to be an open circle. If it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle because we are including that number. I know Mrs. Clark in the past had taught students that she remembers that it's a colored in circle for or equal to, because to make this extra line on the inequality requires more ink, so then she colors in the circle because it requires more ink. I just remember that we're including the number, you're going to be coloring it in. So now let's look at an example. Okay. Let's look at the try it down here. Graph all of the solutions of x is less than 8. Okay, so, and listen to how I'm reading it. X is less than 8. So first step, we're going to should we draw an open circle or a closed circle at 8 on the number line? We're going to draw an open circle because 8 is not included in this inequality. So now, should we shade to the left or to the right of 8 if we're saying that x is less than 8? Well, let's think of some possible solutions here. 7, 6, 5, 4. Those are all numbers less than 8. We are going to be shading to the left. So think about what we're saying. Is it greater than or is it less than? Plug in numbers to see what makes sense. Okay, so now we're just going to try some examples. And let's look at the key concept up here. An inequality uses these symbols, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to compare two expressions. So the solutions are the values less than 3, right? X is less than 3. So notice how the 3 isn't colored in, and x is less than 3. So all numbers to the left or less than 3 would be included in the graph. Over here, we have y is greater than or equal to 5. Oh, we heard a keyword there, greater than or equal to. So you're going to color in that circle and shade it to the right. So now let's try some practice questions. Number 6 here, let's look at the graph. The directions say in 6 and 7, write the inequality that each graph represents. Okay, so we have z here. Well, what should go in the circle? Should you have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to? Well, you would have, let's look at what's shaded in. All numbers to the left of 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, those are numbers less than 14. So we are going to have z is less than. Okay, do I color it in? Is that circle colored in? No, it's not. So I'm just going to have my less than, not less than or equal to. So z is less than what number? What is the circle at? 14. Z is less than 14. Now let's try 7. D. Okay, what number and what sign should we have? D. Well, it's all numbers to the right, so that's going to tell us it's a greater than. And is it shaded in? Yes, it is. So we're going to have greater than or equal to 18. Okay. So now you have graph paper. I want you to try. Let's try number 8. We're just going to look at this part. Don't worry about the other part. So number 8, W is less than 8. So on your number line, you're going to find 8. Right? Start by putting a circle there. W is less than 8. Okay, so it's an open circle because it's only less than. If it was W was less than or equal to 8, then we would have to close circle. But it's only an open circle now, and W is less than 8, so it's going to be all values to the left of 8. So you just draw a dark arrow to represent W is less than 8. Now, I want you to do numbers 10 and 11 on your graph paper. We will check it tomorrow. So, number 10 says G is less than or equal to 4. And 11 says Y is greater than or equal to 8. So put that on your graph paper. If you don't have your graph paper, if you forgot it at school, then you can just draw a number line. Sketch a number line like I did for W is less than 8. Bye. See you tomorrow.